Jason Fenwick is our other partner. So when people say who are the partners of KW, they say Emmerich, Pat, and Jason.
The other and Jason.
Yes. So he's going to talk to us about the Washington Post articles.
Hey, how y'all doing today? I haven't seen this many people since Emmerich's naked Super Bowl party a couple years ago. I mean, what's interesting, if you haven't noticed, is we're here Monday night, and the room is packed, and we're trying to figure out how to fit people in, so we're moving the chairs around. And we did this probably 4 or 5 other times. I remember when we had the training room back there, and I thought that was the biggest room ever. And then we filled it up. And so now we're kind of at that same point where we're bursting in the seams. Great things are happening. I came up here, I'm really excited because every so often I am thankful for the people I'm in business with. And I'm thankful because there are a couple things that go into success. One of them is the right people. So thank you guys for being my partners every week. Thank you guys because you're the other part of that triangle. The second is timing, and the third is opportunity. So we have the right people in the room. The question becomes, do we have timing and opportunity? Now this week, I don't know, raise your hand if you happen to see the Washington Post article on Prince George's County, specifically Fairwood. So if you have not, they did a 3-day spread, front page, on Fairwood. And this one's entitled, "A Shattered Foundation, African Americans Who Bought Homes in Prince George's Have Watched Their Wealth Vanish. Dashed Dreams, the Plight of the Black Middle Class." The second one was essentially entitled something very close to this, "Shattered Foundation." Let me get the other one. And it was just a series. I can't see right quick. Take these off. On Prince George's County. And when you read it, at first glance, it appears to be negative. And so I did get a bunch of calls on the actual articles and what it means to our businesses and what we should be telling our clients. There are a couple things I want you guys to keep in mind. The first is you make your money walking in the door on any deal. You make your money walking in the door. And the time to purchase anything is when? Low. So that you can sell high. Now, I'm an analyst. For those of you who don't know, I'm an analyst. This is what I do all day long. When there's certain indicators that indicate what's going on, and there are certain trends that occur. So if you look at the regentrification of any geography in American history, at least, in the last 40 years, they followed a cycle. The first cycle is they go in and start zoning and putting up a different type of development. And so Fairwood and the new houses that are going up in Prince George's County, new communities, represent a different type of community than has been here historically. The second thing is you see an increase in commercial development. You see an increase in the number of deals that are on the books that are coming. And so we currently have about $11.5 billion worth of deals that are coming through. The third thing you see is you see the media change. So we used to be the murder capital of this region. If those of you who've been here long enough, you remember every week they would talk about how many folk are dying, robbing, all this stuff, and that ceased. And up until this series of articles, the news media has actually been treating us very well. But there's one thing that happens right before they're about to open the door. They come out with some form of publicity that's meant to move the indigenous population. Now, you don't have to believe me. You can go back and look at New York's regentrification, DC's regentrification. They start talking to the people who are already there and the people who may be related to the people who are there and saying, this may not be the place you want to go. And the reason for that is because everyone else who is in the business loop is paying attention to the key indicators. In our particular county, the key indicators are we went from nothing to $11.5 billion in commercial development. Now, when Walmart, MGM, Tangier's outlets, when they drop $1 billion to put things here or there, they're counting on the people, someone's going to be there with some money to buy it. Now, you don't have to believe me. A few months ago, I was driving down, two things happened in the last 6 months. First, I was driving down New York Avenue, and I looked, and I said, wow, they're putting a Mom's Organic Grocery. And it's already open. Oh, okay. It's sitting somewhere where there's been no grocery store forever in the community. So they're counting on a new group of people moving in to buy from them. They're not just haphazardly placing things. The second thing is I got lost on Benning Road. I got lost on Benning Road because I didn't realize it was Benning Road. Because I was like, where am I? What is all this stuff? I was literally, I'm being dead serious. I couldn't tell. It took me about 15 minutes to figure out I'm on Benning Road because I crossed an intersection. I'm like, well, I recognize this building, but it's at the corner of Benning Road and whatever. And so I finally found a street sign. My point being, when the change comes, here's what they do. Hey, your property's not worth a lot. You should probably move somewhere else. You know, you can get more way out in the country. That's the message that starts coming. So I want to read to you a couple things that I noted from an analyst standpoint, because we don't read the articles from, you know, just the layperson standpoint. We read it from, I read it from the standpoint of an analyst, so forgive me, I made my little notes here. There are 3 points that I thought were key sentences in the entire article. First, the African American share of the population has started to decline for the first time. I stopped there in my notes, but it said like the first time in the last 30 or 30 years, 35 years. So that's a subtle declaration. Hey, it's okay to come in. You're not outnumbered as much as you were. See, what they're looking to attract in any type of regentrification is what they call pioneers. And you don't have to believe me, these are actual terms. They're looking for pioneer people, people who will move on Capitol Hill when Capitol Hill was not a place to move on, people who will go into U Street when U Street is not a place, people who will move on New York Avenue. Remember when Dream opened and Love opened and you were like, it's where? Who's going to park there? I'm not going to park my car there. It'll get stolen. And now it's not a big deal. You got Mom's Organic.
Excuse me, not just Mom's Organic. The old Head Company warehouse is now renovated condos.
I know, right, correct. The second statement is this: the percentage of blacks being approved to buy in the neighborhood has declined even as deal seekers of every demographic move in. Hey, they're leaving, and you ain't got to worry about them coming back because we're on that. And the third is, in Fairwood, the houses once valued at $700,000 are going for $350,000.
Got a deal.
Who said that? Ding, ding, ding. When do you have to figure out when to buy and sell? That's what we do. We tell people, this is what we do as professionals. We tell people when to buy and sell. You guys tell them when to buy and sell houses. I tell them when to buy companies and other things. The time to buy is when it's low. What they have essentially told you here is, what they're saying to any new demographic is, if you are concerned, whatever the people you're concerned about are leaving, so what you heard isn't going to be the case, and they may not be being replenished by a new supply, and there are deals here. What do you think they said about D.C.? That's my point. Fortunately, the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. So someone asked me, well, what are we going to do about it, Jason? Sell houses. We're going to go out, tell everybody, when they say, did you see what they said in about that Fairwood article? There are deals to be had today. Don't wait till Apple stock is $786, excuse me, to buy the stock. You buy the stock when it's low. Does that make sense? A buddy of mine loves Mustangs, and there was a time period when all the automakers were going through the, they went to Congress. Everyone except Ford didn't get money. Ford's stock, because it was in the group, dropped to $2.75, down from $23. A buddy of mine said, what do you think, they'll go under? I said, no, Ford's on a solid foundation. They got $1 billion in cash just sitting there. They've already made the move. Why'd their stock drop? Their stock dropped because everyone else in the industry's dropped. Now's the time to buy. You buy a solid asset at its low point and you ride it up. And that's what he did. You guys are sitting here selling houses and people are like, hey, I don't know about this, I don't know. Okay, hey, you're talking about spending $350 on a house. MGM just gambled $1 billion. The county's building a once-in-a-lifetime, a once-in-a-generation hospital. The FBI, who would never have considered coming out to Prince George's County 15 years ago, is now considering relocating their whole campus. There are all these people who are betting on Prince George's County in the positive. That's when you buy. And so I encourage you, the conversation you have to have with your potential clients as well as your clients who may be calling you. This is an excellent opportunity to reach out to every single one of your clients and prospective clients. Hey, I know you send them an email with a copy of it. I know you may have read about this in the newspaper and you purchased a home from me a year ago. I just wanted to tell you what we're seeing. We anticipate that property values are going to continue to go up. And we encourage you, keep staying with what you're doing. And if you know anyone else who's interested, now is the time to buy. The turnaround is here. I started talking to you guys about this 2.5 years ago. About 2.5 years ago, if anyone recalls that. That Prince George's County was coming into play. We are here. The time is now. The opportunity is now. We have a new vibe in the market center. You have partners, not only in Pat, Emmerich, and I, but look next to you. There are people standing up here getting caps and doing things in the market center. They're creating all this positive energy. So I encourage you, take this as an opportunity during Power Hour to reach out and tell people about this argument. Write a blog yourself. Forget sending it to the Washington Post. Send it to your client base. Send it to the HOA HOA president that you know. Tell the dentist, if the FBI's betting, if Walmart's betting, if MGM's betting, if all these people are betting on Prince George's County, why shouldn't you build another office out here? And so I encourage you to think strategically and also think competitively. That's what we're in the business for. The people who make the money keep calm minds, analyze what's actually occurring, and then link up with those people who are making things move. We do fine on either side of this. If someone wants to sell and you can't convince them to stay, that's not our business. Convince them to stay. If they want to sell, that's fine. We'll help them sell. But conversely, we have to dig in right now, because if not, then what's going to happen is there's going to be a new horde of agents coming into our county, just like they did in DC. When I moved here 16 years ago, there weren't a whole lot of folk clamoring to sell in DC. And now everybody's killing themselves to do it. This is the new DC. And so I encourage you, I'm going to post these articles on my bulletin board in the back in the cafe. If there are any questions about it, I'll be here afterwards. If you're wondering how to put the message out there, again, this isn't a racial thing. This is simply a business thing. Yeah. Someone's going to live here, and the property is going to go up. The question is, are you going to participate in the rebound? So, anyway, thank you. Oh, question? Yes.
I saw today where the president